All right, so we are going to do some word problems dealing with slope-intercept form. So again, that's y equals mx plus b, where b is some beginning point that you have. M is some sort of slope or movement or change from that original beginning point, right? So here we go. We have y equals mx plus b. Cool. So let's see how we apply this to a real world scenario, right? Cameron is selling newspapers for a fundraiser. The cost has a flat fee of $500. That means like no matter how many he does, that company is like, yeah, just for doing business with us, it's going to be $500, which is how the real like businesses work. And then plus an additional $2.50 for each newspaper made. Write an equation in slope-intercept form that models the total cost of printing calendars. Use C for the total cost. Use N to represent each newspaper. So first we're going to be like, okay, the total cost is going to equal, right? Well, first we have to think, okay, there's this like flat fee of $500 that has to get paid no matter what. So even if they don't do anything, it's going to be $500 plus, so it's going to be $500 plus any like additional cost per newspaper, right? So if it's one newspaper that they print, it would be $500 plus the $2.50 for that one newspaper. If they were going to print two newspapers, it would be $500 plus the two newspapers, $250 twice, so it would be 500 plus $5 for the two newspapers, but like we don't know how many newspapers. So we're just going to say 500 plus $2.50 for each newspaper. And that's really it. That's it. We're not quite in slope-intercept form because, here we have mx, right? The changing thing times the variable. It's written first right here. We have a second right here. Our beginning point in y equals mx plus b comes at the end. We've got it right here. That's fine. It's the same thing as writing it this way. Either way is cool. It's going to give us the same exact answer, right? So the next part, Cameron wants to print 60 newspaper. How much will the printing costs be? So our total cost would be $500 plus $2.50 times how many newspapers? 60 newspapers. Which would mean we have a cost of 500 plus, now 250 times 60 newspapers would be $150. So for the 60 newspapers, it's $150, but plus that $500 just like flat out fee, meaning your total cost, I'm just gonna not even bother with the eraser tool. Your total cost would be $650. $650 altogether. All right, so we're going to go over this a little bit quicker, right? So you're going to a carnival. It's $12 just for admission, then $3.25 for each game you play. Write an equation in slope-intercept form that models the total cost of your carnival experience. Use C to represent total cost. Use G to represent the number of games you play. So my cost for playing at the carnival is going to be that $12 admission fee just for letting me through the door, plus I'm going to have to pay $3.25 for every game I play, right? So if it's two games, if it's one game, it would just be $3.25 plus the $12 admission. If I played 100 games, it would be, $325 times 100, which is $325 on games. plus the $12 to walk through the door. So if you want to play 16 games, how much is this thing going to cost? Well, $325 times 16 games, which becomes $12 admission fee plus the amount you've spent on actual games. It's $52. So your total cost would be 12 plus 52. So you'd be spending about $64 at that carnival. All right, last one. Taxi drive. Now, I know you guys are used to Uber and stuff, but us old people are used to taxis. So it costs $3 just to like get picked up, right? So just when you open that door and sit down, that's $3 already, right? And then 35 cents per mile. So let's write that slope intercept form. The total cost is going to be $3 plus 35 cents for every mile. So if we're going to go 23 miles, it's going to be 3 plus oh gosh. Right? And then I'm going to just like use my calculator, being sure to handle order of operations first. 0.35 times 23 miles. So it's $8.05 just for like the mileage, plus the $3 to sit down. Your total trip for going 23 miles would be $11.05. That sounds extremely good. So the next one is 3 just for getting picked up plus 35 cents times 38 miles, which I'm just going to drop in my calculator. I'm going to clear it from the last problem because it's a huge problem I see. 35 cents times 38 miles is $13.30. Plus the $3 just to sit down is 16.3, but we don't write money like that. We say 16.3 or $16.30. Let me know what you need. Why can't I figure out? There it is.